Hello, today's video is on control of nonconformances. Before we can start, there's a few vocabulary terms we need to go through. And one is the difference between a defect and a nonconformance. A defect is when you don't meet specification and it causes the product not to perform its intended function or usage requirements. A nonconformity, however, is when you don't meet spec but you don't meet spec, but there's no significant uh, impact on the usage of the product. So, how do we identify non-conforming product? Quality professionals use the traffic light rule, where red means stop, yellow means caution or suspect, and green means good or go. So basically, when in the course of inspection by the operator or independent inspector, non-conforming product is detected, it should be identified by some suitable means, like red tags, marking, or in a specific location. So inspection, what we mean by that is incoming or receiving inspection, first article inspection, in-process inspection, finished goods inspection, and any type of special inspection that occurs. So you can detect nonconformances while, uh, really, I should rephrase it here. While somebody's working and it's not product yet, it's not considered a nonconformance. It's only when it's product is it nonconforming. So upon completion of work, then you can say whether it conforms or doesn't conform to specified requirements. Segregation. Obviously, if you're in a job shop or you're in continuous production, you have to segregate the good stuff from the bad stuff. The integrity of the lot is not an issue. Units should be isolated or removed from the flow of production to prevent unintended use. The same for log run. Units must be separated from other material to prevent unintended use. Disposition. Recognize that not all specifications or requirements are created equal. There are some critical specifications, and those are if we don't meet those, it'll cause bodily injury, harm, or death, or prevent the product from performing its intended function. A major specification is one where if we don't meet it, it will reduce or wear out the product quickly and it's readily noticeable by the customer. Minor is none of the above. It's either critical or major. Now, how do we do disposition? Uh, some companies use material review boards. That's where the managers get together, review all the material, and based on that, they come up with a consensus of what to do with it. In other cases, a manager, the quality manager by him or herself, can make the disposition. And depending on the characteristic, the operator can actually do that by scrapping the part at their workstation. We have to document the nonconformances, and in the 21st century, we use databases. And in this case, I have a Microsoft Access database. And let's take a look at how we document that in a computer database. This database has been around for close to 10 years now. It's you use Microsoft Access. So here I'm uploading Microsoft Access. And I'm going to enable the content. And notice this handles non-conforming, corrective, and preventive action. So we'll start the first tab. Notice here we have a field for identify where the nonconformances are from. And so we could put the name of a vendor, a customer, a workstation, or an employee name. The date it was discovered. And notice here we have source. So it could be a customer return like RMA. It could be from an audit, it could be from a vendor, or it was discovered internally. For each nonconformance, we have a unique number so we can reference back to this. Who the nonconformance was given to get disposition, the date the disposition should be carried out and closed, the kind of discrepancy or the criticality of the discrepancy. And notice I have critical, major, and minor as we discussed before. This one happens to be major. The status, open means we haven't begun. Pending means we're waiting to carry out the disposition, and closed, the disposition has been carried out. We have an area for identifying what the problem was, a problem description, part number, purchase order, either a customer PO number or our PO number that went to a vendor, and a work order. Now here are the different dispositions. Notice we have a place for disposition. Disposition could be return to a customer or the vendor, 100% sort, scrap, rework, and use as is. You only will do a disposition of use as is with concession from the customer. The customer has to agree to it. So in this case, it's rework, the date the disposition was made, and who approved the disposition. Since this is rework, we should have special instructions. Once the rework is done, it must be re-inspected to the original requirements, and we should identify the person who re-inspected and the date of the re-inspection. And now, when should we do a corrective action? In this case, because it's major or critical, we always do a corrective action. That's how we document nonconformances. Obviously here I can preview the actual report. I can add another nonconformance report, or I just go back to the standard page. Now, nonconformances, corrective action. Immediate action is taken when it's critical or major. You have to take care of it now. If you discover it while it's in transit, you have to notify the customer or the storage point that it's going to. The second time we do corrective action, a lot of people forget this, is a magnitude. How often does the nonconformance occur? What's a frequency of occurrence? So to do that, we have to do ranked ordered analysis. This is where a database comes in really handy because it can count up the number of times each one of these nonconformances occur. It can tell me the most reoccurring nonconformance. And see here we have a tally. Cracked has a tally of 5, which is higher than everybody else. So if I divide 5 by 15, it gives me 0.33, or 33% of all the nonconformances are due to cracks. So we should open up a corrective action based on cracked parts. That sums up control a nonconforming product. To get more information, I recommend that you get Duran's Quality Control Handbook by McGraw-Hill. And that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and you're looking forward to seeing you at the next one. Have a good day.